Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin tonight with a family working through a serious tragedy. Last Tuesday, a mother and her 3 children were hit by a car while crossing a road in Spokane Valley last Tuesday.
2.5-year-old Thor spent the last week at Sacred Heart Medical Center before he passed away from his injuries. KREM 2's Janelle Finch joining us live in the studio tonight after speaking with Thor's father this afternoon, and she tells us how the family is honoring the life and legacy of their son. Janelle?
When I last spoke to Joshua Hendricks, he told me how his 2.5-year-old son Thor was fighting to stay alive. Today's conversation was much more somber, as we talked about the joy and love Thor gave his family and the world for 2.5 years.
He was my world.
Joshua Hendricks says the last 2.5 years of his life were a blessing because he got to know and love his son Jeffrey Thor.
If I knew that was going to be the last time with him, that I would just be holding him, telling him I love him. I'm going to miss him.
Thor was a big brother and little brother, but Hendricks says his role in the family was so much more.
His role was joy. He was very good at bringing the best out of everybody and bringing joy and smiled at everybody's face that came in the door.
In Thor's absence, he says he's looking back on the little moments in a new light.
When he'd want to be held, he'd say, "Daddy, hold you, Daddy, hold you." Not understanding the "Daddy, I want to be held," but he'd say, "Daddy, I hold you, which he did. He held us more than we held him.
Hendricks says he's finding peace, knowing Thor isn't alone in heaven.
The day before, we had to make some tough decisions. After visiting with Thor, me and my wife were walking out, and I felt I could hear my dad say, "Hey, Josh, I got him." And that gave me peace, knowing that he's got him. He'll be watching over him and taking care of him in the meantime.
He says friends, family, and strangers have told him Thor's story inspired them to reconnect with their faith. Hendricks says he will continue to be the joy his son was to those around him. Hendricks says he will miss the moments he spent with Thor watching Oregon football, being outside, and playing with dinosaurs. As for the teenage driver, Washington State Patrol say the investigation is still open, but at this point, the driver is not facing any criminal charges. In the studio, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
Janelle, thank you very much. Also tonight, we are learning new information about how former Spokane County Sheriff's Deputy Craig Chamberlain died.
The Spokane County Medical Examiner ruled his cause of death was hypertensive cardiovascular disease with atrial fibrillation, which is heart disease. His manner of death has been ruled as natural. Court documents obtained by KREM 2 reveal that Chamberlain was also given half of a fentanyl pill the night of his death, but no mention of the drug appears in the report. However, the sheriff's office is still investigating his death.
Chamberlain was 52 years old. He served with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office for about 2 decades. You can find more details on our website. Just go to KREM.com.
Well, it is likely the last official word from North Idaho College before the fate over its accreditation is determined. The school has been embroiled in controversy and at risk of losing that accreditation for months now.
KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy traveled to the college to try to get more answers today about what the school is doing to try to keep that qualification. Shannon?
Well, this is that 3-page letter that North Idaho College sent to the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities. It outlines several ways the Board of Trustees is trying to address concerns and get back in compliance. In its final official report before hearing on its accreditation, North Idaho College lists numerous changes the Board of Trustees has made since March. That includes intensive training with consultants. A letter posted outside the administration building shows the board will hold another training session June 6th. Other changes the board highlights are strides to work collaboratively with NIC President Nick Swain to create a, quote, sustainable environment of good governance. On May 17th, the board voted not to oppose President Swain's request that a court permanently reinstate him as president. The letter says the trustees have created a subcommittee to review and revise board policies. In late April, members of the commission visited campus to talk to staff and students about problems it says have been going on for 2 years. A report from that evaluation says the institution must overcome its current environment of distrust, poor communication, conspiracy, and placing other priorities above the best interest of the institution. After calls, messages, and showing up to the administration building, a college spokesperson said no one can comment until this process is through. The NWCCU will hold a hearing reviewing the accreditation status of NIC on June 23rd. The decision could come as soon as July. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you very much. Let's switch gears to talk weather here. After a brief cool down yesterday, temperatures slowly climbing back up as we make our way to the weekend.
So let's get right to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, tracking the return of very summer-like weather.
The only thing we've got in the forecast is maybe a little bit of cloud cover. Other than that, just heat.
All right.
Well, we know what to expect.
All right, let's talk it. Nothing but sunshine right now as we take a look over Spokane, and temperatures sitting in the 70s. 71 degrees is where we currently lie. And that's not too much warmer than yesterday. That trough is doing a wonderful job of keeping us just ever so slightly cooler, but enjoy it while you can. The heat is still on in the days to come. Nothing but sunshine for us right now, and even zooming out, you can see you got to go pretty far to find some storms. Some lifting into Oregon as we speak might give us a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow, but don't expect much moisture out of it. I think what we wind up seeing is a little cloud cover, maybe a stray shower in parts of Idaho tomorrow afternoon, and that is it. It is going to be nothing but sunshine in the days to come. 80 tomorrow, 84 on Saturday, and 87 by Sunday. The heat is on as we head into the weekend, and it looks even warmer next week.